production of Locked Up Sports.
Everybody, this is Don LaGreca from the Michael K. Show. When it comes to talking sports, Bob Walters and Brett Grasso are the authority.
Can't wait.
When it comes to talking sports, they're the authority. It's Bob Walters and Brett Grasso. It's Locked Up Sports, and it starts now.
Bring them out, bring them out, hey. Bring them out, bring them out, yo. Bring them out, bring them out, hey.
Here we go. Bob Walters, Brett Grasso from the Brian Gunzel Studios. This is Locked Up Sports. The Jets finally pull Zach Wilson, but it might be too late to save the season. The Giants get a costly win in Washington. Why sideline reporters lie? And are the Rangers and Knicks the best teams in New York? Brett, what is up? Welcome to the show.
What's up?
How are you? This is take two. We just did, last time we were here, we didn't get any sound. This time we recorded sound, no video. So this is take two. We just gave you the best 20 minutes that we could have given you. Anyway, welcome back, Brett. We're finally back. We're finally on air, back in the studio. Brett's in a bad mood now. The Jets lost.
Yeah,
they switched the quarterback too late. We just did 20 minutes of gold, and it wasn't recording. Brett, what is up? How have you been? Nobody's heard from you in a long time, Brett. The viewers.
We've been on here. No, you're missing. Yeah, no. we've been separate studio. We've been on a little bit.
Yeah.
Honestly, what are we gonna do? We lost Zach Wilson.
You lost Zach Wilson.
Lost Zach Wilson.
You say like it's a thing that's said.
Lost him. I've been trying to lose him for weeks.
Brett, he's terrible. The Jets' offense is it's terrible.
Yeah, no, like we wait until I really wish I was listening to the press conference right now because I'd love to know if this is like is Zach out as quarterback, and have we gotten an answer on that yet? Or
he's out as quarterback. No, he's out as quarterback. Absolutely, he's out as quarterback. You can't bring him back in. What's the reason for bringing him back in? Right? You can't. Now Saleh, this is a career-ending mistake. It could possibly be. He's possibly ruined his chance at Aaron Rodgers as his quarterback. Because to me, I think he's on the hot seat. His offense hasn't moved the ball in 4 games. They scored 1 touchdown today.
0 for 11 on third downs.
No third down conversions.
No third down conversions. Absolutely disgusting.
I showed up to your house in the second quarter. The Jets had 0 yards. 3 or 4 minutes of time of possession to 15 to 20 minutes on the other side of time of possession. Everything is terrible about this offense. And
fumble right off the bat. Fumble. Gibson on the kickoff, giving the ball right up. Defense stands up, gives them only 3 points inside the 30. All right. Then, Bills get the ball again. Jets do nothing. Bills get the ball again. They come down, put the ball inside the 30 again. Defense stands right up, holds them to a field goal. All right. We give the ball back. We got the ball again. Zach Wilson's got the ball. Let's throw a pick. Let's stick him right inside the 30 and see what happens.
The game's over at 12-0.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable that we can't listen. The defense, honestly, they had a rough day. They got run over. They had a lot of, decent amount of rushing yards against them. Their secondary can't tackle for anything. So when guys get open in the secondary, they just start running. Penalties everywhere. Not on the defense, mostly on the offense. Offensive line is disgusting. Mekhi Becton out. Looks like his ankle's pretty banged up. Probably not going to see him for a while. Rookie starting first snap, never played 1 day, not 1 snap on the offensive line in the NFL in his life. And that's how pretty much the first quarter went. But from that point on, it was actually all uphill getting rid of Zach Wilson, which is what we need. We need a total collapse to get rid of Zach Wilson because I don't think anything would resonate with this idiot of a head coach, Robert Saleh, to actually make a change outside of being trounced and producing literally negative offense at points in the first half. To get rid of this man, to trade anybody, any other human that any Jets fan would like to see that just is not Zach Wilson. That's all we cared about. We didn't even care if the guy threw 5 picks. We didn't. As long as it wasn't Zach Wilson.
It's almost like it's not his decision. It's almost so idiotic that he stuck with him this long that maybe it wasn't even his. Is it coming from higher up from the GM because they're trying to justify this pick when look at the 49ers, Brett. The 49ers are a team that they do something and if it doesn't work, they dump it. And then they get somewhere. Then they go somewhere else. The Jets can't admit the mistake.
I don't know what it is. Are you that bad at coaches that you didn't think you could bring somebody else in and coach them to become one of these other quarterbacks? Was that it? Like you guys aren't good enough coaches to go get any one of the people who are being worked out for all these other teams who are having the exact same issue. You look at the Bengals, you look at the Browns, you look at all these teams, look at the Vikings. They all had the same issue, but you know what their guys did? They reacted. They've been proactive immediately the moment the thing happened. You know what we did? We stepped back and said, you know what we're going to do? We're going to put the guy in who we did this with last year and see if he can ruin it the exact same way. And everybody said, we know what's going to happen. We know we've had a full sample size of this person as a quarterback. We know he can't do it. And you know what they did before trade deadlines, before anybody else even had quarterback issues? Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Nothing. They did nothing. They sat back and watched him throw screen pass after screen pass after screen pass into the ground at the feet of his offensive lineman.
They let one offensive performance versus the Chiefs, in which they lost.
They lost. Still lost.
But they let that
victories.
one time influence them, and that was also on, I believe, a primetime matchup, which is when teams aren't at their best. They typically have a short week.
On
it's
the
not
road.
the same on the, like, I'm telling you, we got hoodwinked again, just like he did in that combine with us with that stupid long rollout pass with nobody in front of you, not wearing pads, that got him the number 2 pick and somehow convinced us all that he was going to be the second coming of Joe Namath.
And instead he's the second coming of Jamarcus Russell, and it's a disaster. It's been a disaster since day one.
At least Jamarcus Russell, and Jameis Winston, guys like, at least they had some heart, man. This kid's got nothing.
He just doesn't show any emotion. He's just terrible. He's bad. I don't know how you could be so bad. He was clearly good in college. Okay, he had a good combine, whatever.
No, those, you know what? The thing is, those other guys, you look at all of them, the Johnny Manziels, you know what their problem was? Yeah, they had some talent. They didn't work hard. This guy's working his hardest, and this is what we're getting. That's a problem. This is him working full steam. I'm really trying to get this done. I'm putting in all the effort, and this is max what you're getting out of him.
The numbers are like middle school quarterback numbers in the second quarter of these games. He'll be like 2 for 5 for 6 yards.
But why? I just don't understand why he doesn't just say, like, he won't just release the ball. Like, he won't trust it. Like, I understand the guy's not open. That's the NFL. The guy's on his third step. Throw the ball. Yes, it might get tipped and picked. We get it. But if you do nothing, it's a sack because our offensive line sucks. So you have 3 seconds. If it's past 3 seconds, it's over. And the problem with him is, you look at him on paper and you think he's a good rollout quarterback. It's when he's at his worst. If you go into the numbers, most of his interceptions come when he has to go roll out, try and make something happen. And that's where, so listen, honestly, when he has time and he drops back and he actually can't, he's not the worst. The problem is he can't improvise. He has no feel in the pocket. And he honestly,
he doesn't know what he's looking at.
He's so inaccurate on the dump-off passes and on the short ones and on the gimmies that he's not giving guys who are great athletes. He's surrounded by great athletes. These other guys are on bad teams. He's on a good team with athletes, and he doesn't put in the right spot to give them their own chance to make something happen.
And also, you know what? I'm done hearing about the Jets defense. Now, I get it. They are a good defense. They got some talent. But come on, can you make a tackle in the secondary? Can you get a turnover? If you're going to jump the route, can you catch the ball one time? Can you not give up points when I get it. The Jets aren't going to score points, not going to win games, but this defense is I think they're overrated. Because the games that they won, it wasn't one with the defense, Brett. The games that they won were lost by the other team. The Bills threw the game away in week 1. Okay, what was the other wins they have? They lost to Kansas City. That was their best game.
The
Giants game was one of the worst football games in the history of football.
But that is the same stuff that the defense, the conditions in the defense and kept them in that game enough to win it. Like, the Jets have no chance with any other.
The Giants couldn't have moved the ball against anybody on that night. Come on.
I don't know, man. I don't know. You tell me about the Giants. They're looking pretty freaking good today.
Stop it.
Let me tell you, three TD Tommy came out today with his chicken cutlets and his marinara sauce, which is probably still on the stove at home. He gets an extra chicken cutlet tonight. 100%. That guy, now you got a real quarterback controversy in New York. You guys are moving your way out of the top 10. The Jets are moving themselves up their way in the draft order. Tommy DeVito is your new guy. It's going to be a new regime. Saquon came out. Let me tell you, he ran that out. He looked good. I know you didn't see that much of the game today.
I didn't.
He looked good.
Saquon is good.
No, Tommy.
Here's real
Forget
quick.
Saquon. He's gone. This is your last year of Saquon.
Real quick. Now, that's a bad win for the Giants. Now, but Real quick on Zach Wilson.
Yeah.
Here's when Zach Wilson plays well, right?
Yeah.
Here's when he plays well, when he doesn't have to think about anything. The Giants game, there's 10 seconds left. He's got to do it real quick. He just got to just throw it, just react. In the Kansas City game, that drive after the half, he didn't have to think about it. He just reacted. He played. He used his athletic ability.
He did. No, he's done that a few times
As soon as
this
he
year.
thinks about it, he gets in his head.
Yeah.
And he can't handle it. He freezes under pressure. But the Giants get a bad win today. I'll tell you what, I don't care. You're rooting against the wins now because they're not going anywhere. You want to get another quarterback. You want to be a top 5 pick.
Nope.
And now you're
14th.
Now you're in trouble.
14th pick in the draft. The New York Giants select a mediocre tight end
Deion Sanders kid.
from Morehead State.
A Duke.
Who's your most famous Morehead State alumni?
Phil Simms.
Ah, very good, Bob. Yeah,
But I mean, listen, the Giants they played well today. Dable, he's not going to get fired. I think because after last week, listen, Brett, last week was a complete embarrassment for the whole franchise. They gave up 600 yards to the Cowboys. Okay, they lost 89-17 in the 2 games against the Cowboys, their rival team. They gave up 600 yards, which is, you don't give up 600 yards. That's embarrassing. They showed no heart. They're facing the fact that their building's going to be half empty for the whole rest of the season. The tickets are going to be being sold on the secondary market.
Cold in the Meadowlands.
And you had the Maras, John Mara come out last year, basically say, we're back. We got our coach, we got our quarterback, we're back. And what happened before Thanksgiving? They're on the clock. They're on the clock before Thanksgiving.
Back on the clock.
So now they got to win today against the Redskins, another rival.
They scored 30 points today.
I know, but they also turned them over. The defense played well. They turned them over. There was a pick 6 at the final play of the game. There was
You're setting yourself up for the perfect number 15 pick, 14 or 15.
No, the Giants have a tough season. The Giants aren't going to win, man. Tommy DeVito did not win that game today.
They're going to win
265, 3 touchdowns.
They're going to win 2 more games.
If they win 2 more games, then they're hovering around the 10.
It's rough.
Yeah.
It puts you in a weird, and then
in a weird spot, a spot where you're not going to get a quarterback. And you still have Daniel Jones, and that's the worst possible situation because now we're going to be back to where we were last year, Brett. He's going to play well, and they're going to be like, oh, we're good. We're good with Daniel Jones. And you're not good with Daniel Jones. I've been telling you for 3 years you're not good with Daniel Jones.
Tommy DeVito is going to be my backup next year for Aaron Rodgers.
Listen, the NFL has a problem with quarterbacks getting hurt because the product is terrible. Okay, look at Zach Wilson. Look at the Giants. I'll give the Giants a break because they're on their 3rd quarterback. Okay, Tommy DeVito's not the backup. They should have got somebody, though, when Tyrod Taylor took the starting position because he has a history of injury. But NFL teams don't spend on the backup quarterback like they used to. It used to be, remember, Jeff Hostetler, Frank Reich.
Yeah.
Good players. Steve Young.
Steve Young was a big one. Yeah, Steve Young, come on. They brought him in from the CFL to back up Montana, and look how that worked out. You end up being you even look at, now you
get guys like Zach Wilson, Gardner Minshew.
No, but you have to be prepared for that. Like, you even look at like, how much shit they got in Green Bay for getting Aaron Rodgers when Favre was, the king of the NFL at that point, and to go, oh, we're going to get this other kid. And that was, you look at it, that franchise from that one pick propelled them to continue their dominance for years. Honestly, they should have done more with it because they made a whole bunch of bad picks after that.
Yeah, look, it's very rare to get back-to-back Hall of Famers. The 49ers did it.
Because nobody does it when you have a Hall of Famer. You don't get another quarterback.
Well, because you're usually winning.
No, if you look nobody ever does it. And you got to look at, like, other teams who were smart, like the real well-run franchises. The 49ers being one of the most well-run franchises in NFL history, going out and picking up a Steve Young. Who knows if they thought it was going to be what it really became, but did they think out about Aaron Rodgers and what it became? They just went and decided, we don't care about pissing off this guy. We have a franchise to run.
Tom Brady was a backup. Neil O'Donnell was a backup. Bubby Brister was a backup. These are good. These are names that you can at least trust when they go in the game, right? They're not the starter.
You look at now. You look at who are your best backups right now.
Tyrod Taylor,
Gardner Minshew. Gardner Minshew is going to be a very classic backup. He's going to play in a lot of teams over the next few years.
Browning.
Yeah.
Listen to these names. These, and your product goes way down. The quality of play is garbage with these backup quarterbacks. You really understand why they have the rules against hitting the quarterbacks and why they're so sensitive about the quarterbacks. Go watch a game with 2 backup quarterbacks. It's a disaster. It's terrible.
Watching a backup right now, Josh Dobbs just make a miracle play too over here.
Yeah,
this is it.
But and Kirk Cousins went down. They're all getting hurt.
Look at this. Shakes the guy off. Holds it, stops, throws a little touchdown. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, but this is going to wear off. Josh Dobbs is not this good, okay? This is going to wear off, Brett.
You don't have to be that good. You got to be that good for like 3 weeks in the NFL, and you're going to get paid.
Out for the year.
You're going to get he's going to get paid.
Yeah, but we're not
Josh Dobbs is getting paid.
Brett, we're not talking about getting paid. We're talking about watching these games. He can get paid, and then the games suck. The product sucks.
I'm having fun watching Josh Dobbs.
Yeah, today.
I don't care if it's like Colorado where it only lasts 3 weeks.
Brett, look at
I don't care. I'm going to enjoy my 3 weeks.
Look at the Cleveland game today. Cleveland-Pittsburgh, 13-10. And you somehow enjoyed it because the guy threw three passes at the end of the game to get him in the field goal range. That was a terrible game. That was 10-10. Yeah. It was 10-3 for a lot of the game.
Put a little respect on the guy. Dorian Thompson-Robinson. Give him a little something. The guy came out. He's in tears at the end. He was brought to emotion.
Yeah, but he
was brought to tears.
Brett,
he's his dream. This guy's backing up Deshaun Watson. He's looking over going, I got no shot at touching the NFL field. Next thing you know, this guy's winning games for a team that's going to the playoffs. He may be taking the reins. Now he's waiting for a Joe Flacco to show up, and he's got to go outduel Joe Flacco in practice. Super Bowl quarterback, champion.
Yeah, that's Joe Flacco's old man, though. You had Joe Flacco as your back. Yeah, but Joe Flacco's not bad.
But when you're 21, 22, 23, whatever this kid is, and you got an old man who's been through the ringer, he knows every defense and every offense, and he knows how to play. That's not fun. Now all of a sudden, you got to step up, and the guy just won a game. I don't care how shaky was. I think he was somewhere around 24 for like 45. So they let him sling the ball.
Yeah, but
they gave him a shot.
You can let him throw the ball.
He only threw one interception. He took his team to a victory today. He's a rookie. Zach Wilson, Tommy DeVito, 3 touchdowns today. Zach Wilson the entire year, 5. Tommy DeVito this year, 5.
Yeah, but do you want to watch a game like tonight? Okay, do you want to or Thursday night? Do you want to watch Lamar Jackson against what's his face for Cincinnati? Why can't I think of his name?
Joey Burrow?
Joey Burrow against Lamar Jackson. You want to watch Browning against Lamar Jackson because the second Burrow went out of that game, it was over. Right? The game was over. It's right there. And
so what are we getting to? Are we just now? Are we getting? Listen, do you think that the NFL in the next 20 years, over the next 10, maybe 20 years, is going to let you even touch the quarterback? Do you think that they'll?
Yeah, I don't think they take it away.
You don't think that they don't let you just have to touch him and then it's over?
No.
You think they let him get fully hit?
I think eventually.
Do you think is there going to be technology where the pads are better? Like I understand it doesn't really make a difference. That's not why these guys are getting hurt.
I think it's they're playing too many games. I think they took the $1 billion from Amazon to put the games on Thursday night. Those Thursday night games are no good. They're terrible games. And the road team never wins. Al Michaels half asleep in the booth. They're terrible games. And they're getting $1 billion. I get it. They had to take the money because you can't turn down $1 billion. But the product suffers. And eventually it's not going to be good enough. And people are going to start losing interest like they lost interest in baseball. Everybody loved baseball, and then all of a sudden it was too slow. Football's great, but when they're not playing, there's only 32, there's not enough quarterbacks to go around. There's not enough good quarterbacks in the world.
No, definitely not good ones.
That's what I'm saying.
Tell you find out real fast that there aren't even that many serviceable backups, and that's why I mean that, the backups I think are about to get paid. I think next year people don't realize, people are going to be a big thing is in free agency. First thing is who's a guy, and I'm not talking just a backup to have a backup. Who, if my guy goes down, can take us and keep moving forward?
Yeah, but you say big names like there's not even that. Joe Flacco's no good.
There's 2 or 3. No, Joe Flacco's not one. There are guys who are already backups and signed to other teams that they're never relinquishing control of. You have to realize there are other options, but those teams are there are teams who actually took care of this stuff. I wish I know Trevor Lawrence has some people behind him too, where they're not in trouble if one guy goes down. But these other guys, they just said, you know what, they only have X amount of money. Next year, the big difference is the cap jumps. Big jump in the cap next year. A lot more money to be getting thrown around next year. Teams are allowed to expand. You're about to have where this year it was, you have to decide, I can't give that lineman my guy his extension. Quinton Williams isn't getting an extension this year if we go out and get a good backup, because that backup's going to cost too much money. So it's a very tough spot to decide Are we going to put all this big chunk of money into a guy who may not take a snap, who hopefully does not take a snap this year?
Yeah,
that's a tough one, man. Like, it comes out of another area. This isn't baseball. It comes out of another area, and let me tell you, your team gets depleted for every million that goes shifted in another direction.
Yeah, absolutely. And they get depleted, but the backup quarterback, you're going to spend. Now, what if you spend all that money on the backup quarterback, your starter doesn't get hurt?
That's what I'm saying. You never even want him to get hurt. You paid a bunch of money
to hope he doesn't play.
But he didn't get hurt, and now you just, you allocated $10 extra million in that direction. So now that's what it is.
So now going into this week, I looked at the games. Basically, there were two good games this week. There was the Thursday night game, which is the before Burrow got hurt, but Burrow was already hurt. And there was the Monday night game, the Super Bowl rematch tomorrow at Arrowhead. The Eagles, the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs are going to beat up on the Eagles. I think the Eagles are somewhat of a fraud team. They're not as good. They lost to the Jets.
The Chiefs, Jekyll and Hyde, man. And so are the Eagles, I guess, too. But I feel like the Eagles are more consistent where, I don't know, man. I don't know about the Chiefs. Where they're going into Mile High?
The Chiefs. No, the Chiefs are home at Arrowhead.
I'm sorry, I was going to say at Arrowhead.
At Arrowhead against the Eagles.
They're at Arrowhead. At Arrowhead.
I think the Chiefs beat them by 10 points.
In Arrowhead, yeah. Yeah, I think it might actually be closer than that. I don't. I think that this is I mean, it could be a touchdown, last-second touchdown, but it's going to be a last-minute drive.
Now, what are your thoughts on Charissa Thompson coming out saying that she lied? Erin Andrews then backing it up, saying she's lied about these sideline reports. Is it time? Can we just get rid of the sideline reports, right? We don't need the sideline reports.
It's totally pointless. You just get generic, everyday responses from the coaches. They're just going to give you you're right, defense should have played better. We should have converted on those third downs.
No. I think we're going to stick with Zach Wilson. I think he's a good quarterback.
Right. No, you're getting BS answers. They're just they don't even care what you said. They don't even hear what the good ones, the good coaches don't even listen to the questions anymore. They just have a response that's generically getting answered. Like, you'll see, it's actually college is better. Like, Saban's probably the best, where he just comes out and he'll be like, you know what? Just need better play. Just need better play out of everybody on the ball. So we got to really tighten things up. It's so good because it doesn't matter what you asked. It's just whether you're winning or losing. It has no bearing on anything. It's no, we just got to be better all around.
It's funny.
It's like a Belichick. Like, Belichick is the king of that too. Yep. Just not playing good enough.
Yeah, he's like,
that's what you get out of Belichick. Just need to play better.
They're not even listening to your questions. They're not even listening. They barely give you anything in the post game, right? We just go move on to the next week. We'll move on to the next week.
No, it's embarrassing. So you have to make things up because how are you not?
Yeah, but she made up the generic answers, right? There was no big story. She wasn't like, we're going to throw the punter out there to play quarterback today because he had a big fourth down conversion.
No, but you're just but as a sideline reporter, like, you're not guaranteed that airtime. You got to go figure it out. So the producer's like, did you hear anything about that injury? And you're like, yeah. I got it.
Yeah, but you don't.
I got it. They don't have no idea. They're like, no, the guy. He looks back. They said it's back. He's questionable to return. No, back to you guys.
You're guaranteed airtime though, because they go every time.
No, not that extra. No, you got to squeeze the extra. No, you don't get it, Bob. Every second, like, you're talking, like, we talk about millions of dollars in salary cap mattering. 1 second makes the difference. Let me tell you. That's all it takes is, got big one. I got it. I got this, guys. Yep. Word just came in. Yep. He's coming out.
It's not always women.
No, it's not.
Kevin Burkhardt, sideline reporter for the Mets.
Yeah.
Maddie Loughlin, sideline reporter for the Mets.
Yeah. In the stands.
John Giannone for the Rangers, sideline reporter. Now he does the.
Yeah, but it's hard hitting news. You got to go get into the story. You got to find out.
It's a tough job.
He just makes stuff up.
It's a pointless job. She was just making it up because she was lazy. She's pretty. She knows she's pretty. She's going to get on there just for that. Because think about it. There's a reason why they pick girls that look like that, right? But they don't all look like that. Tracy Wolfson, she's not bad looking, but she's not a 6-foot blonde, who's a smoke show. So
listen, I just, all I see is their sports brain. That's all I see. I don't see anything else. I don't even know what you're talking about. I just hear I don't even know genders anymore. All I hear is sports, you don't know sports.
Now, since football is basically out, okay, football is out for New York here. We ran into a crap year 2 for our show, Brett. We had such a good year 1. Giants
we were all
killed
set
it.
up. No, this was it. No, but this year was all set up. This was like, no. You don't understand. This year was supposed to be Mets Yankees World Series.
Giants in the playoffs, Jets in the Super Bowl.
Yes, I'm glad you put it that way because if you were going to say Jets Giants Super Bowl, there's no chance.
We know
Giants
in the playoffs,
we know
Jets
this
in the
was
Super
the
Bowl.
Jets. Aaron Rodgers came to New York, and it was like we got to even he got to keep us hanging on for a long time about it. And you know what the problem is? We're not even used to getting the presents. So we felt weird about being gifted all these things all year. We were just gifted, money from Steve Cohen, the Jets deciding they're going to be a real franchise, the Giants deciding they're going to play good football with a bad football team. We got a whole bunch of really good things. The Rangers making a good run last year, but now
Year one, we had Sweeney Murdy on the week Aaron Judge hit his 62nd home run.
Yeah.
Okay, we had the Mets, Steve Phillips on.
Yeah.
Okay, in a big spot there. We had Coach Westhoff on. Year 2, we're getting snubbed by Sean Marash.
Oh my God, I know. Well, he's busy. He was at the Waller Foundation.
He was at the Waller Foundation, but
he was. And at least he was being truthful. At least because he popped up with some pictures there. It looked like he had a good time with his wife. Actually,
and when he comes on, I want a list. What is his 5 list?
Oh, the Cinco de 5-0?
I want the Cinco de 5-0, and I want Tiki. And I want Tiki.
I'm pretty sure that's trademarked by WFAN.
He couldn't but he couldn't give us Tiki. He couldn't be like, yo, Tiki, I need you to do me a favor. I've been kind of like
Tiki. You get Tiki. We can't get him to get him.
I've been giving him the runaround.
We got to get him first. Trust me. We're gonna. No, we got a lot to talk about now, especially with. It looked like he was having fun today. I saw him on social media with Tommy DeVito having a day. So I think he's in a good mood.
I know he apologized and he's like, I know you think I'm giving them the runaround. He's like, we're just having some fun here. But listen, he's gonna come on. We're gonna get him. But as far as the Giants go, you can't be rooting. He was rooting for that. I didn't see him on social media. He was rooting for the Giants. You can't root for the Giants anymore.
No matter what happens, when your team's on the goal line and you're trying to score a touchdown, you're always going to root for the touchdown. We know how we are. I watched this with the Jets last year or 2 years ago as, we get bumped in the draft and, this is how, we end up going from taking Trevor Lawrence to Zach Wilson was us scoring a last-second Tommy DeVito style touchdown, which is, that's what you guys are in for. So that's what I'm laughing about. Well, I say Tommy DeVito. You think I give a crap about the Giants winning? I know that your season is about to be ruined by a couple fluke wins.
4-13.
You're about to have a couple fluke wins that are going to really change the course of your whole franchise. One pick is a difference. I don't know. It could be.
Oh, when it's the quarterback, it's a big difference.
It could be in your favor where you may miss out on the guy who was a miss, and it gets dropped down where you had some other guy fall in your lap that turns out to be better. It's all a crapshoot. But right now, you want to lose, man.
Yeah, but here's what you have to do. You have to recognize when you make a mistake, and the Jets can't do that. They can't admit the mistake.
You know what the thing is?
They waited too long.
You know what it is with teams like this now, and I learned this from the Jets last year. And the Giants didn't get to do this, but this year, this is the time when you learn about good coaches, and this is an evaluation of who am I keeping and who am I getting rid of? What didn't work? What didn't work? Who's the guy who I gotta have on this team? And there's a lot of guys who were all on the edge of either being cut or are you good or are you the development? Are you going to be the next big thing or are you overplaying out of your shoes right now?
Who dogs it at 4-12 in week 17? So you don't want that guy.
This is the difference of good coaching and bad coaching. It's not just about did you win or lose this week. It's what do you do with this losing season right now? And how do you react to it? And do you know how to evaluate talent or you just keep playing as Zach Wilson? You know what I mean? Which one are you?
Kept playing Zach Wilson.
Do you see Tommy DeVito and do you say, all of a sudden, the same way that San Francisco saw Brock Purdy, and all of a sudden, if this happened, that, wait a minute, just because Trey Lance was a bigger pick, we don't keep him, we move on now. Or you got to recognize right now is a very important time in your franchise and where you end up in the pick slot, how many games you win, what talent you keep, and do people even want to come play here after this? It's a tough when you start losing, man, people don't want to be there.
What do you think, just completely switching to, because the two best teams now are the Knicks and the Rangers. It's it. The Rangers have gotten points in 11 straight games, Panarin has a point in 15 straight games. Panarin has a point, has had a hand in either assist or a goal on 53% of the Rangers' goals this season.
Is this?
It feels like something special. It's still
Is
November.
it something? No, but is it typically like teams get hot in hockey, and this is like you can just see it?
Not
There's
like
no way they're gonna.
this.
There's
Not
no
like
way they're
this.
gonna
This
be.
is-
No, but I mean, is it like I can just see it? Just with just the the smell test is just
okay. It looks like
Right.
a special. It could be a special year, but
Right.
but keep in mind, in hockey you could lose a series in the playoffs very easily. The Bruins had the greatest regular season of all time last year. They went out to the Panthers, who stuck in the playoffs.
Do you want to have the greatest regular season of all time, or do you want to just be where you're kind of elite, and so you don't have the whole chase and things? I saw that we watched that with them, like you said.
Yeah.
I think that might have taken a little bit out of them, right?
I think you want to be clicking it. I think you want to just be hot at the right time, because I've watched the Rangers win multiple President's trophies and
you
go
also
out
want to
in the
go through a
second
slump. I think a slump's a good thing for a team.
Yes.
Like, going through adversity for any championship team, if you look back, no matter what sport it is, outside of the 72 Dolphins, someone went through some kind of downturn.
But that's the thing with the Rangers, is they're going through adversity. They have the goalie was hurt.
I don't turn on the hockey. For a few months.
Okay, the goalie Shesterkin was out for a week. They got a 39-year-old playing goalie that grew up in New York. Quick.
Was he like the Zamboni
No,
driver?
he beat them in the cup finals.
Bring your
He beat him in the cup finals.
like bring your stuff to the locker room. You get to sit in the bathroom.
So they had the Shesterkin, one of the best goalies, if not the best goalie in the league, out for a little while.
Okay.
They won all the games. Adam Fox went knee on knee with somebody. He's out. He's going to be out months. They have not missed a beat. He's the Norris Trophy candidate, former Norris Trophy winner. They got Philip Hedl, who now has his 4th concussion, and now there's no timeline. He might be like an Eric Lindros situation where he might, he's on his 4th concussion in 2 years.
Are these guys playing up to their expectations now? Finally,
I think it's finally gelling together, and they got a new coach.
Right. Yeah,
I think that they got a new voice in the locker, new coach. They blew. Now listen, they could very easily blow another win, go up 2-0 in a series in April and blow it again. That could very easily happen. But right now, they're doing everything right. Everything right. Last night they were down to the Devils in the Rock, and they came back. They beat them. They're winning games on the road. They're winning games at home. They're winning games. They're doing everything right, and everything seems to be falling right for them too. They're gonna go. You go through a rough patch. It's 82 games, Brett. It's a long season. The Knicks are playing better. They're winning. They're starting to win games. They had a rough start, but they played a tough schedule.
That's how it goes. You don't know how you are. You have to gel as a basketball team. And
what do you think of the in-season tournament? Do you even understand it? Because I don't really.
I do understand that there are certain games that are for the in-season tournament. So
But
certain
they're
select
scheduled.
games, yes, you're in a little conference. They're scheduled certain days. All of a sudden, this game counts towards the tournament.
Now let me ask you this. When we get down to this team's out. Like, okay, these two teams are out of the tournament, right?
Yeah.
I'm supposed to play you in the semifinals, right?
Yeah.
In the in-season tournament, but I'm not scheduled to play you. How does that work?
Every game will count towards the record, your regular record, except for the championship game.
Yeah, but I have to play you in the semifinals, right? I'm scheduled to play you in the semifinals, but you're not on my schedule. You're not on the NBA schedule for me. How does that work? You hear what I'm saying?
No, I do. There isn't like that many rounds. Like, first of all, it's like
a round robin.
There's
right?
I know the only thing I'm sure of is the other games do count towards your schedule, like towards your
record. Yeah.
Except for like the championship game.
That's fair.
Whatever the Vegas game is, but it's only like 2 games. So there's like 2 additional games, but that's a good question. That's a good question of, do they end up with the exact same number of games? Like, how can it not be?
Like,
how can it
me
not?
and you are in the semifinals. You're not on my schedule. I go, now these early rounds, it's easy. Okay, you're going to play this team. This is going to be.
You're asking a question that is already answered, and like
sure,
there's a reasonable answer to it, and it.
I was on the Philly.
Yeah.
The guy said, he's like, I researched it. He said it's like a wild card situation, and I asked him point blank. I said, is there a playoff spot attached to the tournament? And he said yes, but there's not, right? They just money. It's cash.
Yeah, it's just cash. It's just cash and a
I don't like
championship thing, and it's good money. It's big money for the guys who
$500,000
for the guys who aren't the big names on the thing. Those guys are only making
It's only 12 people on a basketball team, but there's not many not making. There's stars.
No, but that you're starting 5, and I'll give you the 6th man are all making big bucks, and the other guys are on a couple $1 million.
Okay. But it's a $500,000.
That's huge when you that's you me telling you I'm giving you a Christmas bonus of 25%.
Okay, yeah, I mean, yeah, like a
25% of your whole salary.
Yeah. So like,
$500K. Here's $500K. You made $2 million.
$500K is $500K.
200. You take me $2 million this year. You get no endorsements because you suck.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
We give you free shoes, free sneakers. Everybody gets free sneakers, Bob, in high school. Sable has with flashes on them.
Sable lost.
Nike sponsors Sable with flashes on them.
Sable lost last night. They're out. Sable football. They are out, and here was the situation: the Jack Cohn, who was the answer to the trivia question. He's a kid that plays lacrosse in Jersey, from Jersey.
That was funny.
He was the trivia question answer. He's of course, if you don't know, he was the Notre Dame and Wisconsin quarterback, Indianapolis Colts quarterback.
He was on the practice squad for a bunch of teams.
So now currently in the XFL, his brother is a freshman. He was the backup quarterback. The starting quarterback went down. Suffolk County Championship went down last week. Got hurt. Tried to practice this week, couldn't do it. Jack Cohn's brother steps in as a freshman in the biggest game of his life, and they lost.
And he's Zach Wilson. Total Zach Wilson.
He couldn't even Tommy DeVito it.
Oh my God, Tommy DeVito is just he wouldn't have done that in a championship game. It was rough.
So basically, if you need some landscaping done, you could call the Cohn brothers.
Well. Yeah,
All right, so that's it, right? That's it?
Yeah.
We did this show like 3 times. Killed it. I'm still not sure.
Good enough. Well, pretty soon we're going to start getting into free agency for baseball. Is going to start heating up.
Winter
we're
meetings.
about to, Aaron Nola already got signed 7 years, $170 million over to the Phillies, so he's staying over there. So first starting pitcher that's any good is off the radar for the Mets.
Is the best news you got this week that the Mets did not non-tenured Daniel Vogelbach?
Yeah, Danny Vogelbach. I was actually a little worried that they would, just because it wasn't a bad deal. Like, there's no, like, they almost, I honestly think they considered, it was like $1 million.
I know, but you can't bring him
it was
back.
Like $1 million.
Nobody wanted him.
And this is kind of what I talk about with bad seasons and evaluating talent was, if you watched, and a lot of people did not watch the second half of this Mets season, we had one shining light come through and showed that
DJ Stewart.
DJ
Stewart's so good, bro. He's reminded me of Jay Payton.
I just loved the whole energy he brought. I loved everything he was about. I liked that it was something I could actually watch, especially, we had the other guys, pop up in the Ronnie Mauricios and some other good things happening.
DJ Stewart was a spark plug for that team.
But that one right there, they picked him up and they have him for like $1 million for the next year.
And Vogelbach was terrible.
And that's let me tell you, 12 open roster spots on this Mets team. And that's going to be, there's a most in baseball. 12 open roster spots.
He's made 16 changes, 16 different players on the team.
We scooped up the head of scouting from the Astros, the head from the Cubs, 2 guys that people were like, these are the 2 best moves the Mets have made in years.
Nobody knows what happened, but Billy Epler's gone. He was obviously in the way, right? Something happened there. Yeah. They didn't tell us what happened.
Yeah,
Something
they used that whole the whole injury report stuff as a reason to kick him on. That was nice. I like that.
So and I was there.
We don't need a GM. What did the GM do for us last year?
I don't. It's so Mets though.
What did that do for us last year, GM? We're going to sign up Pete Alonso. We're about to sign him up long term. We're about to sign every good Japanese guy, and then they're all going to want to come here after. And we got the other. That's what's happening. And then we don't need Ohtani. Ohtani can go wherever he's going to go.
The Dodgers with
big
Trout.
Money, but he's not pitching this year anyway. Yeah, with Trout, they're going to dump. Yeah, forget it. That's good for them. Good luck.
And you know what he said in his press conference? He said, we're ready, the new Mets manager, we're ready to compete in 2024.
Ready. We just need to fill 12 empty spots. We need a GM.
But baseball's a long way away. We haven't even gotten our first frost.
Super
it's getting
ready.
cold. Football's going. Football's over. We're getting the hockey, basketball, everything. We got college baseball. St. John's is losing games already, Brett. I don't even want to talk about that. They're headed down the Jets road.
We need to get Cornseca back.
Oh, and if you missed it, if you weren't watching Red Zone today, Jimmy Carter died.
Oh, that was great. Red Zone blew it up today. They couldn't even announce who was playing who, and then in the middle of it, Jimmy Carter's wife dies.
He's
and they
the
were
best in the business.
They're like, oh, and his wife died, and they were like, former, they were like Jimmy Carter, who was already deceased, and they were like, oh, we're sorry. Breaking news: Jimmy Carter's not dead.
He's the best Chris Hansen this side of a good plate of cookies in a pedophile's house. So all right, that does it for us today. Thank you for listening. Don't forget, rate, review, and subscribe us. Tell your friends, everybody. Brett, listen to this, and everybody listen to this because we need your help with this. We have dropped from number 6 best New York sports podcast. We are now ranked number 20th, Brett.
Oh, that's rough.
We dropped.
Yeah, well, in the middle of it, a whole bunch of famous sports guys opened a podcast. So what are we supposed to do? Turns out we never played professional sports. It's tough when it's like, oh yeah, here you go. Stephen A. Smith opened up his new, I'm the Man podcast.
If you can't play it, talk it, Brett. If you can't play it, talk it.
We're there. We're hanging with these guys.
All right, so that does it for us. Thank you for listening, everybody. Don't forget, rate, review, and subscribe. We'll talk to you next week. I'm Bob Walters for Brett Grasso. See ya.